Hello, Miss Jerry.
Hi dear, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I want to give you your thing because you had given me your paper, so for future use,
Okay.
you know, things. Yeah, I wanted to return that because I did my own.
Okay.
You know, I copy off of everything.
Right. And you
Cut
made
and
your own.
paste, cut and paste, that's what I did.
Okay. Probably have the best one of us all.
Well, I'm sure, but if you want mine, I'll send it to you in the future,
I
okay?
think I'm on December and January.
I'm on next year after this, but if you want, I sent it the way John used to do it. Look at that, please. But you'll just have to change things naturally. See, I did it the way we used to do it. But I looked up Benjamin online, I got just a little thing, I know he's been here, but I didn't know. No, I have it. I took it off okay?
Hi, Anita.
Well, I had copies, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. In the future, maybe I can help you with that, because I just go on, and I put the name in, and then it all comes up, and you can go on. I'm not a Facebook person, but there's always something on the internet, so that's what I grabbed. I'll help you with it if there's a guest on. So that's what I did.
Okay, thank you.
Easy peasy.
Yes, so I'll switch back. I used to stay up here every day. Great. Should be kitchen. Thank you.
One of these already?
I did, yes, I've got that. Thank you.
No, not yet. We got the fans going. Hi Dave, how are you dear? How are you?
Charlie is great. Oh my God.
Charlie was what? He was nervous, he was upset.
He was just crazy when he was doing
Of course he knows me. They don't forget. He's been a guest at my house for 10
I said, you
days.
know who's coming? I said, God.
He knows that he did it for the last 3 years. It was always godmother, godfather, you know. So, yeah, he's my pal. He goes nuts.
And he goes crazy when he
Yes.
sees her.
He cries, and cries, and cries. But he stopped
Talk
at
about
her.
agreeing.
He stopped at her.
Sits there and he's so excited.
He can't help me, but he stopped. He stopped that, you know. Yeah.
Your old house.
A dog.
He's excited.
I know.
He's really excited. And I always back up. I know. He's so yes, yes.
More
But
than
he-
us.
I just backed up and he sits down and I look to see him. He's been better. He's been better. Isn't he? He's been better. I tell you, he's so cute though. Oh, he's adorable. Where's welcoming? No welcoming? Call to worship? No, that's him. Oh, welcoming. I don't have the
It's up
land.
there, the land
The land, I'm
acknowledgement is up
reading the
there,
land
right?
acknowledgement after I read my welcome.
I guess we're gonna take the book on the horn, so we have to do it.
Am I doing the land acknowledgement? Okay.
Here it is.
Leave it here
Here's
after I
the-
welcome.
here's the
I have my
generic-
own.
Here's the generic one.
I have my own, so then I'll read the land acknowledgement.
And then you also need,
I have what?
your phone to know exactly what you said.
Sure, sure. No problem.
You're talking about
It
your
says
dog?
here.
Yes.
Yeah, like a new puppy?
Okay. It says Joy's concerns and announcements. I do the announcements if you want it, and then you can call me up after you're done with
What's
joys and
the
concerns.
way that we do this?
Well, you just, yes, you would just say, you know, this is the time in our service for, you know, our joys and concerns. If you want to say something about it, that's up to you. And, you know, and then after, and people, you know, you could say
Never get another animal again.
or, and then
Do
people.
people sort of
No,
stand up where they are?
stand up where they are. we'll talk, you know, later. And then,
Enhances your
They're
life.
like little
concerns
powder
people
puffs.
are done
So
saying that
affectionate.
you would
That's
normally say
wonderful.
something
They enhance your life, they lower your blood pressure, they make you
close to
calmer.
their heart.
Sounds good.
You've been here before, but we'll, you know, and then you could say, nod
Scientific
me,
studies have been
and I could
done.
come up and do a
Well, I know,
little.
I believe it.
Okay?
You know, I must
Great,
be-
that sounds good.
And my name is Jerry, G-E-R-R-I.
Williamson.
You want to call me at one point or whatever you feel like doing, okay? Very informal here.
Sounds good.
Support animals.
Perfect
So
animal.
Hi, Leslie, how are you? How you doing?
In her behalf.
Good,
that
glad to
would
hear
give
it.
her permission for a local support animal. So,
Were you a psychologist with the public or were you in the school?
well, I was 30 years in the Roslyn schools, but schools like psychologist. Mainly working with kids who were struggling with learning. But when I retired, I continued in a private practice. I still see 4 people.
Karen,
4 people.
you do the offering as well?
Yes, I do, yes, I'm gonna do welcoming,
Okay?
and I guess the land acknowledge unless you would rather do
No, I
that.
think that's, you should.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do welcoming,
That's where I went to
offering and
graduate
announcements,
school.
okay? The offering, I think, is towards the, I put my.
The genre of movies, what does you got people out there?
Yeah.
What does it mean? What's a symbol?
Where's the, here's announcements.
Yeah.
I don't see, oh, here, so,
Tell me about what's going on
here it
with
is,
them.
offering.
And people haven't been.
I will get up, I will put wrong pictures in that they were about.
Yeah, when someone feels heard.
Like I looked up the little blurb.
Sounds good.
Okay.
But there are schools that will allow emotional support animals. And she has one now, Speeches.
The book is,
A lot of,
much easier job.
but kids come to the phone.
I can imagine.
It was much easier job.
Yeah.
But you know, it cut and paste, cut and
Godmother
paste.
speeches.
I
Yeah.
had an old offering in my Google Doc, so I took it from there, cut and paste, cut and paste.
That's the French word for cotton, because
Okay.
they look like little cotton balls.
Uh-huh.
And there are leaders in the country. So she's looking for a baton online around the country.
Uh-huh. Okay, so she's looking for it.
Okay, so now she's kind of ready to have a new little baby in life. It won't be the same as Charlotte, but it'll be another little affectionate.
Yeah, this is our little boy.
Oh, her shiny coat. What do you feed her?
And his just his normal
Yeah.
dog food, you know, but he's just the cutest little thing. You know, we just love him so much, and like you said, he's truly a member of the family.
Oh, yeah.
Just
What's his name?
Charlie.
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 You want to tell Ann
Yeah, we have lots of people
that
that
it's
Charlie.
11:04?
Here you go.
I'm waiting
I'm
11:04.
ready when y'all.
Anyone
And
start?
if you want to start
Really?
even
Okay,
On his
Can't
back.
wait forever.
Can't, yes,
Yeah.
all right.
So
5 minutes is
so
good.
something.
People will drift in, that's what happens.
Somebody once told me the best way to get things to starting on time was just to start them on time.
Yes.
Missing things, and you're
Yes.
like, oh, I should.
Yes, start the music.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to UUCCN, the Unitarian Congregation of Central Nassau. I'm Jerry Foray, and I'm proud to say I serve on the Board of Trustees. Today's service is led by Benjamin Van Don, and he is joined by musical guest Anna Hall. Benjamin has been a guest speaker at UUCCN in the past. Benjamin is a PhD candidate in theologically at Fordham University, who studies white and Christian supremacy and social solidarity. Benjamin is involved with community organization and faith-based social justice work. Welcome back, Benjamin. Excuse me, I seem to be tongue-tied. We are people worshiping together from many paths who are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We are here to help one another to do the difficult work of seeking meaning, acting for justice, living with integrity, and walking with one another in peace and love. We hope that this hour set apart from daily concerns will renew our spirits, strengthen our love for one another, and embolden us to bring reconciliation wherever we find division. It's good to be together. I'm going to read the land acknowledgement. We are here on the ancestral lands of Merrick. We were put upon Turtle Island to be caretakers, to gather in a good way, to be with Earth's children in all of their forms, those of the land, the water, the air. Let this land acknowledgement be the beginning of our return to unity. Let us be guardians of the water, air, and earth, the four-legged, the flyers, the swimmers, the crawlers, the mammal people, and the green. Let us be the guardians of harmony and kindness.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our call to worship this morning is words of Kalidasa. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. As we light our chalice, I invite you to read together the words printed in our shared order of service. We light this chalice in our hearts so that we may know how other people think and feel. I invite you now to join in our opening song, rising as you are able. Hymn number 1 in your gray book, number 1, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. A song like that, "May nothing evil cross this door," is a kind of prayer, a kind of charm against the evils that could cross the threshold of a place like this. And to mark one of those specific hopes for peace in this place and everywhere, we light our peace candle. Now, if you will look to this part at the back of your order of service, you will find our shared Unitarian Universalist values printed. I'll read the part in regular type, and you all can respond with the part in italics. Love is at the heart of our values.
We promise to live our values every day with love at the center of all things.
Equity is the value of our inclusive community.
We believe in the inherent worthiness of all.
Interdependence teaches us we are all connected.
We will only be made whole when we live as co-inhabitants of the world.
Justice is essential for peace and building a beloved community.
We will work to dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions.
Generosity expresses compassion, gratitude, and hope.
We will offer our faith, ourselves, and our resources.
Pluralism encourages respect for diverse beliefs.
And allows us to be curious as we learn from one another.
Transformation allows us to adapt to an ever-changing world.
We are evolving and growing. We are never perfect.
It's time for our offering and thanksgiving. Thank you all for your support of UUCCN. Your pledges, donations, and volunteering sustains our congregation as we are 100% dependent upon our members, friends, and guests. Please give today when the ushers pass the collection plate or use a credit card on our website, uuccn.org. One of our traditions is to share our Sunday collection plate with another organization whose work aligns with our values and principles. For the month of October, we are supporting World Central Kitchen. In 2010, Chef Jose Andres, ready to use his culinary knowledge and talents to help, headed to Haiti following a devastating earthquake. He said, "Food is essential to life every single day all over the world, and it is important that ever in a crisis, not only a thoughtful, freshly prepared meal, one less thing someone has to worry about in the wake of disasters. It is a reminder that you are not alone. Someone is thinking about you and someone cares. Food has the power to be the nourishment and hope we need to pick ourselves back up in the darkest of times. It is the core value that Jose, along with his wife Patricia, used at the center of founding World Central Kitchen. Please help with this important work by giving today. If you are giving by a check, please write "Share the Plate October" in the memo line. If you have suggestions for future Share the Plate candidates, please speak with a board member or email uuccn@aol.com. Thank you again for all you do to support the congregation.
One of the ways we hold together as a community is by knowing what's going on in each other's lives. So we have a time set aside now for you to share your joys, your concerns, your fears, your hopes. Feel free to rise in your seat and to share with this community of yours.
I'm glad we've had such wonderful weather
Yes.
and that our pumpkin patch is doing so well. It's really thriving and doing very well. And we're happy that we have so many volunteers and helpers like Phyllis and Georgie and Jerry. They help us with the cooking and food and everything. So thank you all for helping so much. It brings joy to my heart.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for all you do.
I want to
Thank
thank
you.
my friend Joanna, who made 10 pies for us to sell, mini breads, and I feel that she is a good friend and wants to do something nice for me as well as for the church.
Yes.
Yes,
Everybody
Yvonne,
knows.
yes.
That's right.
Yes,
We're joy because of
absolutely.
I'd like to thank Giovanna and all the volunteers that really have been helping out. We have a very small congregation, and many years ago, I was taught that, what's my saying? It says, every day,
Do one kind thing.
do one kind thing every day, and
And what, pass it
enjoy
forward?
what.
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, but it's terrible because my mind is going, but I do know that when I go out and I water the plants and I really put myself out there, I meet people. And it's wonderful to meet people from the community. And I tell them all about Unitarianism, and I give them a button.
Yes.
And I give them the button because this is what basically you can explain to anyone what we believe in. It just says, is it true? Is it kind? Or right? And it's a simple statement. And you can, if you want to volunteer your time, I know you volunteer for everything. But if you have time, if you can be here one day a week during the pumpkin patch, and just walk around and talk to somebody and give them this button. It would make maybe them interested in coming on a Sunday and really sharing what we have already know about. Okay, that's all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to add to what Dave said. It is so heartwarming to spend time out in the patch. If I say welcome, people say they've been coming for years and years and years. And that is so heartwarming and encouraging. Again, the fact that we are so few and yet we have such a big impact on the community. No matter what their religious background is, they're so happy to support us. So that is really, really great. And the other joy is, well, there are two more. One is that we had a wonderful family celebration last week, and it was just joy for 3 days. So that was wonderful. The other thing is I'm a graduate of Adelphi, and both my degrees are from there. I got something for the alumni, and inside is a land acknowledgement. So this is just becoming a groundswell, and it's great to see, really, something amazing, that finally, there is this acknowledgement of what we have taken from the people who were here before, and that we are trying to make up for it now. Thank you.
I'll be a broken record and echo so much of what Mary Ellen and Dave said. I missed some of Dave's, but yesterday was in the patch, helping with the set up, and then later in the afternoon, selling pumpkins. We have the Adelphi softball team here, as well as other students from Adelphi, students from the Garden City schools, from Valley Stream, and they were all lovely. There were students who came back from 2 weeks ago. There were students who said, "Oh, I'll be there next weekend," and I just love that. And then, you know, they feel good about me participating in it, and they can see the fruits of like their labor. And then, like both Dave and Mary Ellen pointed out, like the community aspect of the pumpkin patch. Yesterday, there was like a neighborhood gathering in front of the sales desk of like 3 or 4 families. Oh, catching up because they hadn't seen one another in a month or 2, and asking about like the little kids and stuff. And it was just lovely too. And people say, "I've been coming here for so many years. Now I'm bringing my grandchildren." You know, things like that. So I really appreciate what we do to make that happen.
Well, I find it such a joy to be in this happy place. I discovered this congregation late in life, and it's just a joy to be here. I love the pumpkin patch. I find little pumpkins and give them out as bridge passes. Now that I'm kind of confined and I don't drive, I have bridge games in my house, and I can have little pumpkins. But you know, during the congregation, I kind of spread the word that way, through bridge. But it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, I was with my great-grandson last week, it was always a joy. And he's just a year old and he's walking, and of course you all know being grandmothers, but being a great-grandmother is really so special, I have to say. I'm just I'm amazed at the way this little young boy is so, well, of course he's my great-grandson, he's brilliant. So he imitates everything you do. And the way people throw kisses to you, you'll kiss, then you go, glum, glum, and goes, glum, 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 back to you. So I'm just so over the top. And I also have to mention the pumpkin patch. And when I mention the Unitarian Church, I say, you know, the pumpkin patch. Oh, is that where the Unitarian Church is? So this is such a significant part of our congregation. Yeah.
The joys and concerns that remain unspoken in our hearts,
And here's one for you.
and the buttons we hold close to our hearts.
Yes.
We hold it all here in our hearts. I think like Jerry come up and get this.
Thank you. I'm gonna get some more. We have some.
Here are a few announcements. Please join us following the service for Sweet Tooth. There are no new people here, so if you would like to help with a future Sweet Tooth, please speak to Anita Covington. The UUCCN pumpkin patch is in full swing. Thank you to all the volunteers who assisted with the second pumpkin patch delivery yesterday. There will be another third scheduled delivery, I think October 11th.
Next Saturday.
Yes, October 11th. Volunteers are also needed to help in the patch with all shifts until 10:31. Please join us to help. We are actively looking for a teacher for our RE students. Please see our flyer on the visitors table and share it with anyone who might be interested. Our minister, Reverend Petra Thoms, will have office hours on Tuesday, October the 7th at 1 p.m. All are welcome to join in the conversation. The November Book Club meets on November 20th on Zoom. The book is Unbuilt Walls, Why Immigrant Justice Needs Abolition by Silky Shaw. One thing that makes UUCCN special is the volunteering of our members. Helping with Sunday service, religious education, office work, cleanup, sweet tooth, and other tasks that are a way to give back to this community, to build relationships, and to find purpose. If you would like to help, please speak with me or another board member. That's it for announcements.
All right, Simon's going to help me with the prayer. All right.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Two pounds of
Big
Simon.
boy.
He's going to help me with the prayer. All right, I'll read this part. You read that part. Next one. For the sun and dawn which we did not create,
For the moon and the evening which we did not make,
for food which we plant but cannot grow,
the bread of love for his seed, that not earned and cannot buy,
for this gathered company, which welcomes us as we are from wherever we have come,
for all of the churches that keep us human and encourage us in our quest for beauty, truth, and love,
for all things which come to us as gifts of being from sources beyond ourselves.
gifts of life and love and friendship, lift up our hearts and thanks this day.
Amen.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Are you doing, Benjamin, are you doing, was the meditation part of that?
Oh, we just barreled straight through, so you go ahead.
Okay. Well, hello again, everyone.
Hello.
I get to see you once more before I go away for 6 months a year and work about 1,000 miles away. This will be my 16th year playing and singing 5 nights a week in Key Largo at a private yacht club where I get to live as well.
Cool.
And the members all live there. They're all retired, and so I know all of their songs because it's the same people every year. But I always get to see you once in October, and that always makes me happy because I love to see the pumpkin patch. Well, looking at the title of the talk that the Reverend is going to be giving us in a minute, in the hands of an angry God, I wanted to do a song that's a little mad. There was a wonderful jazz musician-songwriter named Mose Allison. He was great, and he wrote a lot of funny songs, but they always had an edge. And I got to see him perform 3 times in my life. And he, one of his songs was, "Just meet me at no special place and I'll be there no particular time." And "Your mind is on vacation and your mouth is working overtime." That's another one. But this one, which was recorded by a number of people, it's called "Everybody's Crying Mercy." He wrote this in 1968. I'm seeing, I'm wondering about some things I've heard. Everybody's crying mercy, but they don't know the meaning of the word. A bad enough situation is sure enough getting worse. Everybody's crying justice just as soon as there's business first. Toe to toe, touch and go, give a cheer, get your souvenir. Well, you know there's people running around in circles. They don't know what their head is for. Everybody's crying peace on earth just as soon as we win this war. So pack your kit and choose a hypocrite. Well, you don't have to go to off-Broadway to see something plain absurd. Everybody's crying mercy, but they don't know the meaning of the word. No, they don't know the meaning of the word.
Peace on earth just as soon as we win this war is a whole sermon, so I'm not sure what I'm doing up here. But it's nice to see you all again. It's nice to see the pumpkins again. One nice thing about the arrangement of this sanctuary is I get such a good view of the pumpkins when I am up here every October. When I was 11, I began keeping track of my sins. Not too much older than you are. I began keeping track of my sins. I don't know quite what inspired it, but I had some sort of ethical awakening and decided that I should be repenting. I don't know where I got this idea because I was a Unitarian Universalist, but I did get this idea, and so I obtained a little notebook. I can still picture it. It's pink and yellow and green marble cover, and on the cover of it, in a thick permanent marker, I wrote the word sins. But I was 11. My truly epic sins were still in the future. And I didn't really have a developed framework for what would constitute a sin other than the Ten Commandments. So each day I would just list the one over and over and over again, which is that I had said, oh my God, I had taken the Lord's name in vain. And then a few weeks went by, and listing the individual oh my gods became more burdensome. So the middle pages of the notebook appear words like, said oh my God 6 times. It's more efficient to write it that way. And then a few more weeks went by, and in the latter pages of the notebook appear words like these. Said, oh my God, about a dozen times. There's a great word in Roman Catholic pastoral thinking for at least my initial instinct to compulsively avoid and track my sins. This great word is scrupulosity. And it's regarded as a problem, an obstacle to living a flourishing life, rather than something admirable. Yet even when I was really closely tracking my oh my gods, and maybe the occasional disrespecting my father and mother, it wasn't because I thought God was mad at me. My young Unitarian Universalist self wasn't even sure there was a God, which made the hyper-focus on the Ten Commandments even stranger in retrospect. I didn't grow up with an angry God. If God is imagined as a parent, then the God I grew up with was a lot like the parents that my parents wanted to be. People who gave me resources and supported me, materially, emotionally, and spiritually. God must have chuckled, just like my parents did, at my reporting my sins in a little marble notebook. But no one was mad at me. Or if they were, they didn't really want to be mad at me. Because Unitarian Universalists don't really do God's wrath. John Murray, the first preacher identified in North America as preaching universal salvation, is said to have told his listeners, "Give them not hell, but hope and courage." Murray pointed out to his listeners a contradiction familiar perhaps to some of us who have tried to explain universalism to other people. How can a loving God allow infinite torment for finite, limited wrongdoing? What might be more surprising, if you go back and read the first couple of generations of universalists in the United States, is how troubling they found their own universalism. They argued about what the abandonment of hell does to God's justice. They still believed, in most cases, that God was angry at their sin, and that some divine correction of human beings was necessary. Just as we might believe that anger is an appropriate reaction to white supremacy or sexism or homophobia or transphobia, they believed that a God who would not be angry at human wrongdoing could not be said to be just. For most of our universalist forebears in the early 18th and 19th centuries, the 18th and early 19th centuries, there was a strong, almost universal belief in some sort of purgation or punishment or correction after death. A sort of Protestant purgatory. Infinite punishment for finite sins? No. God's wrath at human sin and the necessity of God correcting it? Absolutely. It isn't until the middle of the 19th century, 60 years after John Murray first arrived on the shores of the New World and began preaching a universalist gospel. It wasn't until the middle of the 19th century that a Christian universalism without punishment after death came to be clearly articulated and more widely adopted. Now, this may be a question that contemporary Unitarians and Universalists have more or less abandoned. But it preoccupied the early Universalists, just as it had preoccupied other Christians for more than 1,600 years. But maybe there's a further disconnect between religious liberals and God's anger. Maybe we question whether the divine has a personality at all, whether emotions or interpersonal relationships are appropriate metaphors for whatever fundamental animating force we might ultimately concern ourselves with. In other words, is there anything at stake at all in thinking about God's anger? Can't we just figure out what the right things to do are and then do them? I'm not saying it'll be easy to figure that out or to agree on it, but at least in principle, couldn't we just make a list of the things we have to do and start checking them off the list? Why do we need divine anger at all? And look, I'm a theist. I think and I preach from that perspective, knowing that it's one perspective among those that are possible and among those that are claimed in a community like this one. But even if you don't claim a God with a personality or a name, even if you don't claim a God with a vivid emotional life, even if the idea of God who is angry takes you back to a situation of personal or religious abuse, even so, I think the preoccupations of those early Universalists do offer us some kind of correction. The first is this. Unitarian Universalists and religious liberals in general tend to be hyper-attuned and hyper-educated about the systems and structures that shape our world, our communities, and even our own personalities. But I worry about the way that preoccupation can function not as a tool for the analysis of injustice, but as a way to avoid talking about ourselves. Let me put that a different way. Unitarian Universalists, even the non-theists among you, probably wouldn't object too much if I said something like, God is angry at injustice. Or maybe the God I believe in is angry at injustice. Or a God worth believing in is angry at injustice. You probably wouldn't mind too much if I said that God hates poverty and white supremacy and sexism and exploitation and abuse. But what if I said something like this? The God I believe in thinks sometimes the problem is you. The problem is me. Whether the metaphor of anger as an emotion does it for you, and whether you claim a larger framework of God is the kind of thing that could have anger and act on it, when was the last time we spent time thinking not about those structures at all, but the fact that sometimes it's us that messes up? The language of systems, of structures, which is genuinely important sociologically and theologically, can also make it possible to shift accountability away from ourselves. Have I really done enough if I say or do some misogynist thing and then say something like, whew, that sure was the social structures of male supremacy at work? No, it was me. So for me, beyond the anger at injustice, there is something valuable in the idea that God is mad at me, that God is mad at you, at least sometimes. And that is a second correction I think the idea of God's anger can offer us. There is something essential in talking about divine anger rather than simply an abstract moral duty to do what is just. Anger is a personal interaction, sometimes extremely personal. And though I can't quite put my finger on what it is, there is something importantly different about the heat and intensity and personal character of anger laid alongside the cold, clinical demands of a moral imperative. It's not just that there is some list of rules of the kind I could write down in my little marbled book, or that we can figure out by doing the right kind of moral arithmetic. It is that there is something in the structure of the cosmos, the groaning of the heavens, that rages with fury when I or you or all of us together do things that are bad. I don't know if I believe in God, at least not all the time, but I do believe, much more consistently, that God is angry. That is not the only thing God is, but it is something God is. And that's good news. I think it is. Because this anger, if it is metaphysically real, metaphorically real, grows out of God's love for you and me and for all of us, just as it did for John Murray. God's love is the realest thing of all. And sometimes that means God's mad. I invite you to join in our closing song, number 131, number 131 in your gray book, Love Will Guide Us.
Jesus
Gospel of John says that love is God and God is love. So get out of here and go be mad at the right
You would do that.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I am so proud. Have a great day. Halloween is always
Well, the one that I'm on is really all about diarrhea.
I'm angry.
It's
I'm
a
sure
scuba
God,
dive.
whoever she
Yeah.
is angry too about the treatment of prisoners that were never from Venezuela.
So for long
I haven't been there in my heart and myself, haven't seen my book, rumors, stories.
there's no way
report of
because
an
the
ICE
shoals
prisoner
coming
who
so
was
far,
denied medication
and then
and
there's a
died.
reason.
Yeah.
I know
So
a woman
the
whose
dive
loved
go
one
out there, we know what the
who
reason
was
is.
jailed, she was put to say for something nonviolent,
And there's
was
great
denied
fishing if you go
medication
further
and went
than
into
the
a
shoals.
coma.
Yeah.
And then was back into jail again. But not the best loyalty representation. And
And surprisingly,
because of the community.
2.5 hours from where I came.
Okay, Vern, come on, get up here. Come on, Vern.
I'm gonna take it home. Yes.
We're gonna let Vern, we're gonna let Vern play the piano. Come on, Vern.
It'll fit right in my
Get over here.
Yeah, I'm right.
Remember the old prisoner experiments from St. Louis?
The Stanford experiment, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I can't believe you go down to Florida.
I'm sure there is. Let me, I'm not based in Massachusetts, so I'm not sure. But I will do a little bit of investigating and find out.
I lived in a log cabin.
and then you kind of get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to do
And
that.
I live out of church. I played
And other folks here might know what's going on. There might be some other folks in the congregation who know. We're thinking about making some connections, traditions in Nassau County Jail.
Oh, yeah.
There was this case recently of somebody that was diagnosed.
Yeah, so Elizabeth was talking about that last week. She'd be the person who knows.
Elizabeth was on.
Elizabeth Gonzalez. Yeah, she's not here today, but she often, I come bearing pumpkins. Happy tis the season.
Thank you so much. Pretty good. He does read. The best doing that house. That's a rare.
In this place?
I was joking.
exempt.
Well, the photographer already once they're no longer, I'm no longer the relevant authority. That's not how it works. You gotta train up young. So. We'll have to.
Thank you, Bert, for the extra music. He's terrific. He's terrific. But very serious looking. Thank you for playing. I'm saying thank you for the extra entertainment. You know? Thank you, man. That was okay. It was great. You look great. You look great.
Was it a good time?
This is your son.
Yes, this is
Yes.
it.
Yes.
nicer.
Yeah.
It's a good pianist.
He put it right here.
Oh, that's great.